Shabbat Shalom. In this week's parasha, of Parshat Vayera, we are introduced to the character trait of Abraham. Our parasha opens with Abraham suffering from the ill effects of the Brit Milah. It is a boiling hot day. God has come to comfort him as he convalesces. When suddenly Avram looks up and he sees that there are three people walking in the distance. He says to God, "Stay, I've got important work to do." He leaves God, runs to the three strangers, and invites them to come and sit in the shade by his tree and in his tent. He says to them, "Please, sirs, let me just get you a little bit of water and a bit of food, a bit of bread." Elabakara, he then rushes off. He tells Sarah, "We've got guests, start baking." He tells his servants and his son, Ishmael, "Go and prepare a meal for our guests." And what a meal does he produce? Not only is there a milk section, then there's a meat section. According to Rashi, he says that they actually prepared 3 tongues in mustard sauce, which was the delicacy or favorite dish of the time, or maybe the favorite dish of Rashi. The people, the guests are so amazed that they offer him a blessing, and they say to Abraham and Sarai that you'll be blessed with a child in a year's time. It is only when the strangers leave that Abraham then turns to God to continue the conversation. And here is something that is so powerful. 2 incredible lessons that we learn from Abraham and from our parasha. Number 1 is the principle known as Emor Ma'at V'aseh Habeh. Underpromise and over-deliver. How many times do we find that people promise us the world and then are not able to deliver? So also Avram teaches us, underpromise and over-deliver. Surprise people. I remember many years ago when I used to run the camps for the school, I'd always tell the parents that we'd be back at 3 o'clock. And then we'd arrive at 10 past 2. The parents were so excited that they got an early mark. They didn't realize that I knew that we were going to get back at 2. But by telling them I was coming back at 3, I was able to underpromise and over-deliver. Because if I arrived early, they'll be happy. And in case I was running late, at least I had the buffer of that hour. The other lesson that is equally powerful is this following. That when there's someone in front of you that needs to be helped or serviced, it doesn't matter who you're talking to on the other line. If the person is in front of you, they become the most important person. One of my pet peeves is when I go into a shop or I go into the bank, and I've made the effort to go there. And while I'm standing and talking to the teller, the phone rings. And the person picks up the phone and has a 5-minute conversation with that person who's online. Why is that person more important than me who's standing in front of you now? And quite often, I will just walk out the door. Because if they don't respect me, why should I wait around for them? And this is an incredibly powerful lesson. That the person in front of you is the person that needs to be serviced right now. And God, as such, can wait. So Avram says to God, I know this is incredible. I mean, how many people do we know have a spiritual experience of God coming to talk to them? And yet, when 3 strangers walk by in need of some shelter, Abraham puts aside the experience with God in order to deal with these people. That is what is called an act of chesed, gemilut chasadim, an act of kindness, true kindness. True kindness means helping another person when you could be enjoying something or pleasure having an experience of your own. That is what made Avram Avinu the person who's called the Ish Chesed, the paradigm of kindness. That his sense of kindness extends even to setting God aside in order to help a stranger. And when we read the story, we realize that there really is no excuse to be able to help another person. If Avram can put God on hold to deal with those in front of us, so too can we. Shabbat Shalom.